The Humans by Matt Haig is a recommendation from booktuber Emily Fox. She mentions this book often because she, enjoys first contact with aliens types of stories and sci-fi, and I haven't read a sci-fi book in a while because I've been on a sort of fantasy kick, if you haven't noticed. So I wanted to mix things up with this sci-fi novel. It is about an alien sent to Earth in order to kill a mathematician, because that mathematician has solved a special mathematical hypothesis, and that mathematical hypothesis would sort of pole vault the human race into, the stars, and then the alien race that wants to suppress them don't want Earthlings to do that. So this alien being comes in the form of Professor Andrew Martin. However, he's got this whole Walter White thing going on where he shows up naked in the middle of the street because he did it wrong. So now everyone thinks that Professor Andrew Martin has had a nervous breakdown because he's found wandering around without clothes. So now he's got to learn about everything the old-fashioned way, dealing with the stigma from everyone because he is a professor. And this alien has to learn to, bluff his way past the last week's events of sorts, find out who knows about the his discovery, or Andrew's discovery, and kill anyone who knows in order to, suppress the human race. So it's a really interesting concept. That's why I wanted to check it out. Not just because she recommended it, but because the concept intrigued me. The tone of this book is very similar to Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's very similar, not obviously as absurdist as Hitchhiker's Guide to the books, but like it's very similar. It's very in tune. A lot of black comedy, a lot of human emotion, a lot of drama. Ultimately, this is the story of, an alien being finding out what it means to become human. And honestly, I read this book in like 3 days. It's only 300 pages, but I just kept jumping back into it. It's the book is sort of divided into very short chapters, sometimes even just like 1 or 2 pages per chapter, or even a paragraph per page. And the characters are really well developed. I really like the journey of this alien having to deal with all these different aspects, because he has no clue who these people are, what they're doing. So you see him awkwardly eat bread with like thyme on it because he just doesn't know what food is, and then you see him slowly learn about things. And there's also the tumultuous relationship between Professor Andrew Martin and his wife. Unbeknownst to the alien, he's not a very nice person. He's a very selfish person. So when he begins acting sort of, like a not a teenager, but like someone really void of selfishness, people sort of act weird around him. They're like, you're not usually like this. And he's like, am I not? Like, what, I mean, and it's a really interesting mix of different emotional spectrums and things like that. It's a very deep book. If there's any flaws of this book, there is a lengthy list of advice things that's written in a list. That's really, it's a little bit on the nose. Sometimes the book wanders into monologues sometimes, but it's not too bad. And the ending drags a little bit. But overall, The Humans is a very strong book. I definitely enjoyed this book. I breezed right through it. Really enjoyable. I recommend it to everyone. I give this book a 4 out of 5.